Cancel culture sucks. I talk about it all of the time here on the channel, but the fact is that so many people support canceling others because they don't like something that they said online, or their opinions are disgusting in their points of view, and it shouldn't be normalized. Unfortunately, when it comes to the internet, too many people think that they have the power to ruin others' careers because they did something or said something they didn't like, and keyboard warriors of the world love to ruin people's days and end their careers. Now, someone who's been targeted a lot over the past couple of years, who I have talked about before, is Vic Mignogna. Ever since 2019, Vic Mignogna has been targeted by so many people. He has been accused of doing terrible things to people he knew that were fans and also fellow voice actors, but there have been many accusations and very little evidence to back up those claims that he did anything wrong or terrible. There are still plenty of companies that work with him, that support him, that go, "We haven't seen much of any evidence," but of course there have also been quite a few companies that haven't had any backbones, and now there are two brand new situations with Vic that I want to talk about because there are more attempts to get Vic kicked from attending conventions, and one of the other ones have unfortunately been successful. So we're going to start off with this article. SAC Anime uninvites Vic Mignogna from Anime Roseville event, citing threats of boycotts from other voice actors, agents, and managers. So SAC Anime has removed Vic Mignogna from their Anime Roseville event following threats made by other voice actors, agents, and managers to boycott the organization's other conventions if the former Dragon Ball voice actor made an appearance at the upcoming gathering. This is such unfortunate news for fans of Vic, for people who wanted to go and meet him, wanted to go to this event to see what he was doing there. There, are plenty of people who support him after the allegations were made against him, people who do believe him, who don't believe that he actually did these things, and then there are the people who just wanted to go and meet him because he was a Funimation voice actor. I mean, he voice acted in things like Dragon Ball. He is a very prestigious voice actor. There are just a lot of people who also don't follow the Kick Vic situation, who don't really know much about it. They just hear there was a controversy with Vic and don't really care because they don't follow these situations on social media. But it says that he was in attendance at Anime Roseville, a swap meet style anime fan event set to take place on June 6th at the Roeblen Center in Roseville, California. It was confirmed on April 20th by SAC Anime themselves. In a tweet from the organization's official account, SAC Anime actually had announced him as their first guest, and they heralded the voice actor for having been in more than 400 anime series and video games. They invited him months ago. They said, "Hey, do you want to come to this event?" This was way after the Kick Vic controversy started, may I tell you. And then they are now kicking him out, telling him he can't go, uninviting him because of a little bit of outrage on social media. They used him for attention. They used his name and his fame to sell tickets to this event. This is absolutely disgusting of this company to do, and no one should want to support a company doing this, using people for their fame to sell tickets and then last minute uninviting him. So this was the tweet from a couple of months ago. It says, "Our first guest for the June 6th, 2021 event at the Roeblen Center is Vic Mignogna. Vic has been in more than 400 animated series and video games," and of course it goes on to share a couple of pictures of him and some of the characters that he's voiced. Like clockwork, though, the announcement of his attendance soon met a wave of vocal opposition from members of the Kick Vic movement, including a number of familiar anti-Vic activists. Star Trek audiobook producer Emmett Plant, hot off of his successful campaign to remove Vic from the guest list of the 55-year mission tour, offered to again recount how he supposedly saw Vic grab a woman without her consent at a convention. Does he provide any proof of this? Any pictures? Any evidence? No, of course not. He has been going around to so many companies and conventions trying to continue to get Vic canceled, and he's done it successfully unfortunately. He has done it twice now, once like it says with the 55-year mission tour convention, now with this convention, and I'm going to read in a minute about how he's trying to do it again with a third convention. This person is relentless. They do not stop when it comes to Vic. They continuously comment on Vic's things. They try to start harassment campaigns against him. They continue to say, oh, he did all of these awful, terrible things, even though Emmett here has no evidence of it. Scrolling down, though, it says, in a change of pace from the usual accusations of misconduct, Mars Girl actually opted to criticize Vic for his distrust of masks and the fact that he has removed his mask and taken photos face-to-face with attendees despite those events' masks requirements. So here it's still doing a terrible thing trying to get him removed from an event, but they're going with a slightly different tactic this time. It's not all of these allegations anymore. It's actually trying to say he's not continuing to follow safety guidelines. It's going to make it so it's an unsafe environment for people. It's a very, very shitty tactic either way. And scrolling down, it says, however, despite a counter outpouring of support from Vic's fans, SAC Anime would eventually inform anime fan Jeff Cyan that the backlash has led them to cancel Vic from the convention as of this morning. This is a terrible situation. He has been successfully removed from yet another convention because these conventions have absolutely no backbone. It is disgusting that people think that they can just go around accusing people of doing terrible things and get them fired from conventions and jobs and face no consequences for it. It's terrible that people like to ruin careers and someone's lives just because they don't like a character you played or because they don't like your opinions or something that you put on social media. Maybe there's a single accusation made against you. No. To these crazy people on the internet, you are guilty until proven guilty. You are guilty. Always. You never get a chance to defend yourself, to say this actually didn't happen. They will never believe you once those accusations are made. The onslaught of negative posts wasn't the only reason, explained SAC Anime from the official Facebook account. It was also the calls for boycott of our convention from other voice actors, agents, and managers when we brought him to the show, and we already had many people pulling out of appearing at our shows because we announced him and were going to have him. These people aren't going to come back to your convention. All of these people who pulled out, who didn't plan to attend this event because of it, they're never going to forgive you. So you might as well have kept Vic because he would have at least brought people in. People would have been happy with you for supporting a voice actor. The people who are outraged at you aren't even going to support your show anymore. They're not going to show up to your conventions. They're not going to follow you again on social media. They're never going to give you another chance to fix your mistakes because that's what they view this as a terrible, awful mistake. Like, why would this convention work with Vic? Now, I want to head over to this next article because this actually talks about Emmett Plant, who I had just mentioned. Following recent successes, Star Trek audiobook producer Emmett Plant mounts another campaign to remove Vic from another convention's guest list. A huge problem here is that companies don't stand up to these keyboard warriors. They literally just crumble at the sight of outrage. We need more companies behind studios and conventions saying things like we support our guests or our employees until they have been proven guilty in a court of law, and no amount of outrage is going to change that. Yet none of them do. They cave into outrage, cut ties with these actors, and go on their way. I do not have any respect for companies that don't defend their voice actors, employees, or even their damn janitors. The crazies online view conventions caving in as wins, and it makes them more hungry for power. They will not stop. When one target is successfully canceled, they will always move on to the next. So it says, hot off of the heels of his two latest successes, he is trying to do it all yet again. It says, slated to be held between April 30th and May 2nd, the Tennessee-based convention first announced Vic's appearance on April 28th, posting a video to their Instagram account in which the voice actor shared how he was looking forward to the event and encouraged fans to make your plans to attend. Shortly after they revealed his attendance, Plant hinted at backlash towards the convention, writing on his personal Twitter account, "I'm certain this will work out well for the organizers of the convention. Good Lord, why do you even do this to yourselves?" Referencing past Outrage campaigns directed towards numerous conventions over their respective decisions to invite Vic, many of which Plant himself have been involved in. Thereafter, he shared another tweet, this time noting his intention to talk to some of the journalists in the city and see if they're interested in reading over 80 pages of sworn testimony regarding the behavior of this dude who's headlining the convention this week. Clearly, he is trying to make this a big deal. Clearly, he's trying to get people outraged about this, go to their social media, comment how it's disgusting and awful that they would support Vic, have him at their convention, and support him. It is terrible that these people think that they can just ruin careers because why? They think that it's fun, it gives them something to do, or they bored at home. Why don't you go find something better to do? And 10 minutes after he put out the initial tweet, he said one news desk down, who knows how many more to go. Clearly, he's trying to get this convention to fire Vic now before the event happens and before all of these newspapers apparently are going to pick up the story and start publishing stories about Vic going to this convention. It is absolutely terrible that these people are given the power to get people removed from events, from guest lists. It is terrible that people feel like this is okay, that you can just go around ruining people's careers just because you don't like someone, because you believe allegations made against him. Unfortunately, for the people who support Kick Vic, a lot of the evidence has been debunked, it's been proven fake, and now we're just seeing, another convention kick Vic yet again, and potentially a fourth Comic-Con now that's going to remove him from this. We don't know if they will. I really hope that they don't cave into this outrage, but I guess we will see what happens. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.